Welcome to the Mark David Show, where the truth is a conspiracy. As I've said before, I'm going solo on this one, and this show is not to have a bunch of conspiracy theories. This show is to decipher between the truth and the conspiracy theories, because there's a lot going on in the United States right now and around the world, and there are a lot of people that were being called nuts that are suddenly being proven right. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about current events, past events, and figure this all out for ourselves. Because see, a lot of these conspiracy theory shows, they're so mainstream now. They have these huge guests, these global think tank, Wall Street, brilliant genius guys as guests. And so suddenly, average everyday people that are actually going to have to farm the fields and build the homes and so forth, they're being kind of left out of the conversation. So the purpose of this show, the Mark David Show, is to involve you into the conversation. So we're going to talk real fast. Riots in England. Now, this has been predicted for a long time. Gerald Celente, who he's been calling in his Trends Journal, off with their heads, off with their heads. People are going to riot. People are going to flip out. You're taking away their standard of living significantly. And you know what? I'm going to go on a rant here real fast. I'm sick and tired of the optimists here. I'm sick and tired of people being so optimistic that this is going to turn around somehow. Nobody from New York City went to prison. Nobody. You're not going to turn anything around, because all you're doing is proving that there's no justice. I would be more at peace with people saying, you know what, I'm just not going to worry about it and live my life. I'm at peace with those people, because they might be doomed for all I know. I have no right to tell them that they should be all worked up about this. But people who are involved in the conversation on Facebook, message boards, whatever, but they're like, oh, it'll turn around. No, it won't. There has to be justice. People have to go to prison for things to change, okay? Because you have to create incentive for the people to follow the law. If you don't know anything about human nature, that's what you got to remember. People have to have incentive for doing the right thing sometimes, especially the more aggressive people that gravitate towards the markets. Okay, so here we have these riots going all over the world. And don't think for 1 second it's not going to happen in the United States. And I'm not advocating that. Standard of living is going down because the Ponzi scheme that we are currently floating our currency off of is over. It's done. It's finished. Every central bank in the world is buying gold now. They're getting ready for a change. Okay? That's going to happen. Accept it. You can't, you can't be optimistic about cancer if you're not getting treated. Even if it's natural treatment, which I would recommend. You can't be optimistic about it unless you're doing something about it. And we're not doing anything about it. Alan Greenspan is coming out and saying we're going to keep doing what we're doing even though it's not working. Because we have no choice at this point, okay? So no more phony optimism, okay? Let's have an adult discussion, because every one of you, I'm sure, has some people that you're obligated in your heart to try to help and save and nurture through this. Well, you have an obligation to those people and yourself to have adult conversations about reality here, okay? Okay? So, China, upset about this. What is China going to do? Probably nothing. Probably same thing they are doing. They're going to continue buying up assets, creating free trade zones. What is the Pentagon going to do? Well, they're going to continue surrounding our cities. Not in some conspiracy theory. This is just what they do. They're they're training for more war, and they're training for civilian suppression. That's going to happen. Let's be realistic. It doesn't mean it has to happen in your neighborhood. In fact, the more you're informed and the more people in your communities that are aware of this, the less likely it's going to happen. The less likely you're going to have these riots. But the cities are going to riot because the standard of living is going to go down. And let me ask you this, okay? Is somehow the United States cities, we're going to weather the storm as communities as large as London don't? I mean, come on. Be realistic here. Be realistic here. Okay, so, back to current events. Gold, record highs. Why is that? It's gold's not going up. Even the layman investor at this point understands that fiat currency is going down. Fiat currency requires a low gold and silver price. It requires it because especially the more fiat you print, you need low silver. You need low gold. Unless you're backed by gold and silver, which means you have to exchange the fiat for gold as part of being on the gold standard. Well, countries can't do that at this point. Too many people, too many players in the game. And what's the next currency? You know what? Well, that's for another discussion. Right now, we're just talking about current events. Gold is skyrocketing. People who have been buying gold since 300, guys like Peter Schiff, he's been, since gold was at 300, he's been telling his investors to buy gold. I'm actually kind of sick and tired of these guys getting on the YouTube and getting on their channels and gloating about the fact that they were right. Nobody gets to gloat but me. No, I'm just kidding. Wall Street is tanking. Wall Street is tanking. Today, how's it doing right now, right as we speak? Wall Street is going down. There's going to be quantitative easing. The only reason the Dow went up right now, it's at 154.62. It's up 1.43%. The only reason it's going up is because people anticipate quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is inflation, by the way. It is inflation. It might not be hyperinflation, but I'll remind you, we're the world reserve currency. Our inflation is exported around the world. We send half of our inflation around the world. So inflation is going up. So the only reason markets are going up right now is people expect the Federal Reserve to commit to quantitative easing 3, QE3. And here's the thing. The market is so bad, not even the trading of the computer algorithms, which is like 85% of all Wall Street trades, not even the algorithms can prop the market up at this point. So again, no more phony optimism. We're having an adult conversation about a bunch of adults watching the stock market collapse in an economy that has no way of turning around until there's accountability, and until jobs are created in the United States. Our government is still sending jobs. Is still the job czar, the head of General Electric, is sending his jobs overseas still. Come on, people. No more phony optimism. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Now, the Federal Reserve is a private bank. And right now, we are literally waiting for the decision of a man that has been in public record wrong about the economy every single step of the way. We're waiting his decision whether or not to prop the stock market back up or let the whole economy tank. And so we're actually watching this man decide our fate, our future. And he's been wrong every step of the way. Look, people, come on. Seriously. Come on. Come with me in this, okay? This is not hard to figure out. Okay? There's a lot of things in the United States is going to have to learn about really, really quickly. For one, Wall Street is not the kingpin of the world. The city of London is. It's a city-state outside of London. It's like approximately 1 square mile or something like that. The Queen of England herself has to ask permission to go into it. I mean, come on. Who do you think runs this show? Queen of England is supposedly the largest real estate holder in the world. Ted Turner, second largest. He's the largest in the United States. You know what? No. The people who print the money, the central bankers, they own everything. They own it all. And right now we are literally waiting for the decision on Ben Bernanke on whether or not the market's going to crash or not. And I'll tell you right now, the decision has already been made. And no, they're not going to let the stock market crash. Yes, they're going to keep printing money. I mean, come on. Quantitative easing is going to prop the market back up. The problem is more austerity, more cuts, and more inflation. So even if they don't cut Social Security, when you get your check, you ain't going to be able to buy anything with it anyway. Come on. Now, I'm not saying this is all doomsday. Stop thinking. I'm tired of people saying that that's all doomsday. No, it's time for us on our level to create sustainable systems that don't necessarily require waiting for someone who does no concept of the stock market, no concept of the economy to make a decision on whether the economy lives or dies. Things like bartering. You know, maybe using certain precious metals. I don't know. That's what this show is about, for us to all come up with solutions. Again, markdavidshow@gmail.com. Oh, here's a great one from CNN. Amazon UK's riot gear sales soar. Aluminum bats up 6,000%. Now, see, there's good news in the stock market today. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. See, you have to spend money to riot, apparently. You have to spend your money. You have to buy things. You can't just go riot. You got to have aluminum bats, probably a ski mask or two. You know, if you should get some mace, you know. And here over in the United States, we could be investing in all this. We should all be investing in Kaiser aluminum right now. This is nuts. Okay, this is from the Associated Press. Apple passes Exxon as the most valuable U.S. company. Okay? Now, Apple Computer, which relies on selling these little gadgets, basically they're a gadget company at this point. They're a techno gadget company, rely entirely on the lithium supply that we're getting from Afghanistan. So don't think for 1 second that Apple Computer is not just as intricately tied in to the war in Afghanistan as the Pentagon. In fact, Apple Computer is the Pentagon. Exxon is the Pentagon. Okay, there is no more merging of corporate and state power. That happened a long time ago. Apple Computer needs the resources that the U.S. military and NATO steal from poor countries. And they are stealing resources. Even if we're going in, let's just assume that liberating the masses in countries is actually happening. Let's just give the government the benefit of the doubt on that, okay? Why are we taking their lithium? Why are we guarding the heroin? Why is the heroin poppy fields? Why is that production increased? I mean, come on, again, adult conversation. This is the adult zone. Okay, this is from Reuters. First tax-free holiday in Arkansas, a boom for business. A boon. It's a boon, not a boom, just a boon. Arkansans shopped until they dropped on Saturday, braving temperatures deep into triple digits to take advantage of the state's first sales tax holiday weekend. Proof. Low taxes equals better economics. Listen, this is where the so-called liberals are going wrong. You know, and I hate that word, but okay. This notion that Reaganomics didn't work because of the low taxes. No. Low taxes are what made Reaganomics work. Because you'll remember, we got out of a recession. Where Reaganomics failed us was the deregulation, allowing companies to do whatever they want, including sending jobs overseas without any penalty. In fact, they were tax subsidized for doing so. It wasn't the taxes, Rachel Maddow, you moron. Shut your mouth. Get off the air. You know what you're talking about. You're confusing people. You're dumbing people down like Oprah and The View. Shut up. Low taxes are good. That is a mathematical fact. Low taxes good. It's deregulation. You can't let companies do whatever they want. Again, go back to earlier in the broadcast. There's no penalty. There's no penalties. They do whatever they want. And I'm going to tell you this too. I'm going to inform you of this, okay, if you don't already know. This notion of you reap the gains, but you don't take any of the losses, that goes back to the monarchs of England. That goes way back, okay? That was deals that monarchs made with bankers a long time ago. A long time ago. That was the deal they made. We're monarch. We're not going to take any losses. Well, Wall Street has just adopted that. The City of London has just adopted that notion. Okay? And why wouldn't they? They can get away with it. There's no incentive not to. That's what it's all about. But don't say it was taxes. You know, and there is no taxing the rich or taxing the poor. These are globalists. Globalists pay no taxes at all, period. No taxes. Okay? So anytime you talk about taxes, you're talking about you and me. We're not talking about the wealthy. You don't think they have this figured out by now? Besides that, they'll just print the money to pay the taxes anyway. Okay, that's all the time we have today for the Mark David Show, where the truth is a conspiracy. MarkDavidShow@gmail.com. Hoorah!